What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and welcome back to another live stream. It is the press conference reaction. The press conference has been released, the embargoed press conference from...
Sorry, I don't look down. Sorry.
Huh?
I don't look down.
You're not on screen.
I'm not on screen.
You weren't when you were doing it.
I was on screen.
The embargoed press conference from last night has been released. So the way this live stream will work, the first bit of the live stream will be going through every word Jose Mourinho has said on the upcoming game against the Filth, against the Nomads, against the Woolwich Wanderers,
It's the big one.
against the Scum. So we're going to go on everything Jose has said, and there's some interesting quotes in there. I know you can see in the title, the biggest quote of the press conference was, Arsenal, I look up, not down at the table. So there you go. Jose's with the fighting talk already. But yeah, it's a big game this weekend.
Yeah, massive game. We really need the 3 points, especially in the fight with the top four race. It definitely means a lot more in terms of the league table to us than it does to Arsenal. But North London derby is pride to play for, so they're going to be well up for it as well. I'm sure they're going to bring their A game, but we've got to make sure we show them who the better team is. And if we can get the win, it'll be absolutely massive for our league campaign and also just for pride in terms of the North London derby. I mean, it means so much if we can get a win in this game. It really does. I don't want to be losing to these lot. I can't take losing to these lot. It does my head in if we they'll hold it against us for years if we win this game.
Until they next beat us.
Every time they win a game against us, they just hold it against us for years. So
well, their wins against us are few and far between at the moment. So look, they'll see. They say form goes out the window for derbies, but I actually don't think that's the case in the North London derby. Because all those years when they were better than us, they more or less it was all either a draw or them winning. And now when we've kind of had the dominance, yes, they've won here and there, but it's mainly been us winning or a draw. So you've got to say, all in all, maybe form goes out here and there on the odd occasion, but usually it is the form team or the better team that does win the game or at least draw it anyway.
Well, that happened in November. We were top of the league on a run of wins, and we got a comfortable win in November.
That was the most comfortable North London derby, I think.
That was a very comfortable North London
ever experienced. Maybe apart from that 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, we never looked like conceding pretty much that whole game. And it'll be interesting to see what approach we go for in this one, because we could go for the approach where we kind of just sit off Arsenal and just let themselves shoot themselves in the foot, and they're more than capable of that. But I just hope we go at them a bit. We hope we force some mistakes, we press high, and with that quality that we have up the pitch, it's going to be too much for Arsenal to handle.
The way we press their defence is going to be so important in this game, because we've seen how Arsenal, if you press them, they do kind of get pressed into making mistakes. They panic at the back, and that's why I think Lucas Moura is going to be so vital to us this weekend. Him with Harry Kane dropping back, Lucas Moura pushing on and hopefully pressurising David Luiz and whoever's next to him to make some mistakes.
And they got mistakes in them, we know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've made so many mistakes in the last few weeks now. Because it looked like at one stage where their defence, they were keeping clean sheets, they weren't making too many mistakes. But as they say, form is temporary and class is permanent, and the mistakes are starting to rear their heads again on that Arsenal defence. But look, let's get into the press conference. Sim, you want to take us through?
Yeah, so the first question he was asked was about Harry Kane. He was asked, can Kane play as long as Zlatan or Ronaldo, and because his game doesn't rely on pace, can he be playing at the top of his game for like another decade or so? Mourinho said you have to ask him. It depends on what he wants to do, and I think it's too early for him to think about that. He just enjoys his football. When a striker is the kind of goal scorer who can play in that position, it's more difficult, because when they lose that intensity of the younger people, then they have nothing. But the kind of player like Harry, I think they get better with time, with experience and with understanding of the game. At this moment, you see Harry and Benzema, who's already 33 now. This is the kind of striker that they are. They're very intelligent, so they can drop back and assist and transform their game. Later in their career, instead of being a number 9, they become a 9.5, between the 9 and the 10, and they play football until they want. But 28 is way too early to think about that for Harry Kane. Yeah, so that's what he's saying about Harry Kane there.
He's already drifted into that half 9, half 10 position, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I still think he's... I think I agree. It's too early to talk about him winding down or anything like that. And thinking
he hasn't even hit 30 yet.
Yeah, so I don't know why these questions are already being put
to him. And it's
weird
that, because you've got players like Aubameyang, same age as Harry, 31, I think Aubameyang is. You've got players like Jamie Vardy, 32. You've got like Benzema. You've got other players around the Premier League that are getting to that age in a similar position, attacking positions. But no one ever says that about them.
What
You know, no one goes to Arteta. Oh, when's Aubameyang going to start winding down? You know what I mean?
But yeah, Aubameyang's different to Kane because once he loses pace, he doesn't have as much to his game as Kane does.
That's what I'm saying. So the question should be more relevant to Aubameyang than it is to Kane.
When he's 31, yeah, you're right. You're right. But for some reason, yeah, no one puts it to Aubameyang or anything like that. Because maybe not as much as expected of him. All right. Next question he was asked was about Arsenal. He says, "Have Spurs over?" The question was, "Have Spurs overtaken Arsenal in the power balance in the North London derby?" He says, "I want to be respectful. I don't want to go in that direction. I'm very proud to be at Tottenham, and I have a feeling every day that I work at a big club. But in spite of the rivalry between us and Arsenal, I want to be respectful. Arsenal is a big club with big history, a little bit like us, and they're trying to build a better future. I have total respect for them." But then the following question, he was asked about Arsenal being 7 points behind Spurs and whether you're concentrating on finishing above them or do you think they have a possibility of catching us. He says, "I look up, I don't look down. If Arsenal was 7 points ahead of us, I would look up to them. But because we are 7 points more than them, I don't look down. At the same time, though, we look always to the next match. And if instead of Arsenal it was Villa or Newcastle, the next matches we're going to play exactly the same feeling. We feel better we feel we are better than the position we have in the table at the current moment, and we want to improve our position. So we need the points for that. It doesn't matter the opponent. It doesn't matter if it's a London derby. In fact, it's the third in a row in the Premier League. It's a Premier League match. 3 points are there to fight for, and that's what we've got to do."
Yeah, 100%. And I'm also not looking down. I'm only looking up as well.
Yeah, and I think that's right because I don't think anyone at this stage would say finishing above Arsenal is any kind of achievement at this point. It might have been like something before to break that barrier when we didn't finish above them for so long, but I think at this current moment,
it's more of like just an expectation now, and if we don't do it, it's seen as like a big failure. But if we do it, it's just like, all right, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Just obviously, I'd rather do it than not do it. Obviously,
obviously.
But it's not like we're looking like before. I think previously, like back in 2000, like under Harry Redknapp or AVB, like the goal was to finish above Arsenal. And that's just like, it's not a goal anymore. It's just kind of a nice, happy consequence. Yeah,
because Arsenal are nowhere near the club that they used to be.
Exactly.
They're still dropping. And I believe they're still dropping right now.
So if we are to look to finish above Arsenal, I would be looking down, not up. All right. And then he was asked about Kane, about his hunger for trophies and about what it's like to have a player so motivated like that in the team. He said, and Mourinho said, "I've been lucky enough to work with players with great ambitions. It's not possible to have a career like mine without players with ambition. He has that, no doubt that of course he wants to win matches, score goals, win trophies. He's totally committed with the club and totally committed with the national team. He's a very good example of a top professional and a top player. Sometimes top players are not always top professionals and vice versa. He's a top player, a top professional, and he's a great example for everyone."
So is this a Harry Kane press conference?
Apparently we're just talking about Harry Kane. But yeah, I think that's completely right. And I think he's right in terms of Kane being having that marriage of being a top professional and a top player, which a lot of players don't always find that balance. So like, for example, like Ronaldinho potentially and people like that, not always the best professionals, but good players. But Kane has that in his locker.
100%, keeps himself absolutely in top condition. Any player that ever talks about Harry Kane that's ever shared a training ground with him always says he's the hardest worker on training ground, first to get there, last to leave. He's always, after the training session finishes, going on his finishing routines and what have you. So, I mean, he is the top professional in the Premier League right now. And you look at players like that, not even Spurs players that talk so highly of him. The Spurs players obviously speak so highly of him. And, every manager that's ever kind of managed him has also spoken so highly. Then nobody says a bad word about him except for the haters of the fans.
And you can't
say some idiots in the press from ESPN and stuff like that. But, apart from that, Harry Kane is the absolutely role model professional. And I don't think you can even get a better professional than Harry Kane.
Honestly, yeah, he's the one you should be. He's the idol. He's the best role model you can get.
England captain, probably should be Spurs captain, and yeah.
All right. Then the last question, I thought the most interesting answer. He was asked about the battle for the first team between Aurier and Doherty, and if it's a tough decision to make between the two, and that it was a battle for his attention and selection that he loves. He basically says, that's amazing. They're both playing well, and that's what I want and need, and that's what the team needs. Ben Davies and Reguilon too. I'm just talking about the fullbacks, but the reason why against Dynamo we changed 7 players from the last match was because I trust all the players. The last time I did this, we lost to Antwerp and everybody was killing me, and rightly so, because I made these decisions. But in that match, I felt a little let down by the attitude, and it was a moment where everybody was working well and hard and trying. It was a moment where not everybody was working well and hard and trying to play. I changed 7 in a very important match now, and I did it because of trust. To be honest, I didn't change 11 because I didn't want to give the team a feeling of it's too much or I'm gambling or something like that, because I could have perfectly changed 11 players. I felt bad for my decision not to play Joe Hart, one of the best goalkeepers in the country, and no doubt one of the best English goalkeepers. I didn't want to play him, no doubt. I didn't want to play him not because of the question of trust, but because of feeling to the dressing room that I couldn't change 11 players. The game is difficult. I have everybody. The question was about Serge and Matt, but I went in a different direction with my answer. But the reality is we have that, and we have everybody playing well. So that's more positive. And that was interesting in terms of what he was saying about, earlier in the season against Antwerp when he changed all those players and he didn't find the right attitude and everyone wasn't really pulling together to really fight for their spot. But he is seeing that now, and maybe that could really benefit us from now to the end of the season.
I think it's already benefiting us. You can see, we've been saying it for the last couple of weeks now, how the fringe players are really stepping up and really on form. You've got to say that, players Eric Lamela, Lucas Moura, who weren't really hitting the highest first half of the season. You've got the defence now all pulling up together in the same tune. So, look, the fringe players looking good. And what Jose Mourinho is saying there is completely spot on. We didn't trust the fringe players in the first half of the season, and now even the fan base is starting to trust them. So, I think he's completely spot on.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that wrapped up his press conference, really. That's all he had to say. Got a super chat here from Nathan Reed saying, why is Kane the greatest player in the world right now, and why do we all agree?
Because he's showing it high level consistently on the pitch, the hardest worker, the biggest role model. His skill set is absolutely second to none. He's our best defender, best midfielder, best attacker. I mean, find me another striker in world football that can do what Harry Kane does.
No one can do what Harry Kane does right now in terms of that role. So it's pretty simple. He's doing what he does best, and that's be the best striker in the league. And he completely deserves all the plaudits he's getting at the moment. And he can do everything. He's a master of all trades, not a jack of all trades. Exactly. He literally can do everything at the top level.
He's a master of all trades, jack of none.
Exactly.
Got a super chat here from Kieran Saunders. Thank you very much.
Big up, Kieran.
Someone's here from the Harris Army. Mr. K, welcome to the Harris Army today.
Big up to the Harris Army.
Let's start getting on some
callers.
I
want to get people's opinions on the North London derby. How they expect the game to go. Do you think Spurs are favourites? What does it mean to win this game for us? Do you think going into the rest of the season? And anything in particular that Jose said in his press conference that you want to pick up on? I want to know your opinions. I can see who's the first one waiting up, and it's the man who hasn't cut his hair in a while because the winds keep rolling in. Brian Daigle. Big up, Brian. How you doing,
What
mate?
an introduction, Simeon. What an introduction. I'm absolutely honoured. And I have to say, Ben, at the beginning of the show, thank you for bringing the word filth into your vocabulary.
You've brought it to the show, Phil.
Exactly. You got to thank yourself, Brian. Don't thank me.
How you doing, boys? Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, all good.
Shabbos,
all good. Shabbat shalom. Obviously, the big game this weekend at the shithole, at the Emirates. Arsenal against Tottenham. I don't ever like putting Arsenal's name first, even if they're home. So I'm going to stick with Tottenham against Arsenal because they should never be in front of Tottenham.
I think the most important question, Brian, I want to know the most important question. Do you look down?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Brilliant.
No idea what you're talking about. Never, mate. Never. The only time I ever look for Arsenal is on the first day of the season when the fixture list comes out.
Alphabetical.
I look for them every year.
100%, 100%. It is the fixtures that our eyes get glued to first when we see the fixture list come out. But with this game upcoming this weekend, how big is this game for you? How important is it?
This game, I say it all the time, to me, no matter where we are in the league or what time, this is your birthday, Christmas, New Year, and everything rolled into one if we win, and Yom Kippur and everything else if you lose. This is the game of games. It means everything.
Yeah,
everything.
In terms of the league table and everything, do you think if we can win this game, that could really, obviously we're on this run of wins at the moment, so the confidence is fairly high, but if we were to get a positive result, do you think that could really drive us on, can give us an extra momentum from now to the end of the season? And on the flip side, if we don't get a result, do you think maybe that could affect us quite negatively?
I think in a positive way, it could be huge. I really do think it could be huge. And I really think it will give them the confidence booster that they need just to say, right, we can do top four. It is a possibility. If we lose, I don't think it's going to have as bigger effect as if we win. I think it will obviously drain a bit of confidence, but I think then Jose will go, right, this is it. Now I know I've got to go all out Europa League. Yeah. So I think it's got more ramifications for positive than it has for negative.
So is the pressure more on Spurs then in this game than it is on Arsenal, you reckon?
Do you know what? I don't know. That's a really good question. But like I said, I think the biggest thing that Jose's got in his head, and like I said, I think yesterday, is I can't remember the last time we did a double over them.
When is the last time?
I honestly,
has it ever been done in the Premier League? Has it ever been done in the Premier League?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's been done in the Premier League. So I reckon Jose is feeding that into them as well, as he wants to be the first manager or manage the first team that does it. So I think that bit has really got into them. So I reckon they're going to go in pumped as ever.
Yeah, I agree. But in terms of the how we approach the game, obviously when we played them in November, we kind of sat back off them. We picked them off on the counter attack, got a couple of opportunities, and obviously some with the worldie, and then Kane and Son in the break got the second, and we in the second half we just completely sat back off them, and knowing that they weren't going to do anything. But do you think in this game, with a potential front three of Kane, Bale, and Son, we might be more on the front foot? Are you hoping for that?
I'm definitely hoping for it. I think we will be. I've been saying for a while, I think what Jose's managed to do now is, after trying so many centre-back pairings or defensive things and realising nothing was working until what he's just got now, he started realising that our main threat is attacking and started playing like the Mora, Bale, Kane, Son. And this is working. So I think, especially with Arsenal's defence, he's got to go out all out attacking, because our attack is on fire and their defence... is most definitely not.
Yeah, but do you think maybe he could see it as a way that Arsenal do shoot themselves in the foot a lot? So potentially, if we do stand off them and just try and see what we can get at the other end, that maybe he could say they'll probably make a mistake, and if we can hold tight, there'll be joy there.
The assistant manager in you is coming out against Simeon, isn't it? So, yeah, it's definitely an option. I can see where you're coming from, but I think, hope and pray he's going to go with what we've been doing well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We're going to start calling him João Simtamento.
You may have to.
Brian, taking off your Spurs hat for a second. I know it's going to be hard to, but just taking it off for a second. How do you assess the job Mikel Arteta has done at Arsenal?
Oh, do you know what? Like I said, my best mate's an Arsenal fan. I do have a lot of Arsenal fans, and he's kind of split opinions like Mourinho. But I can see what he's trying to do. Like Potts was doing, he's a young manager trying to get his way across, and he's been left with a lot of deadwood like we have. And he's trying to get the best out of it. But obviously, you look at it now, like you were just saying before with Aubameyang, no matter what fan you are, Tottenham, Arsenal, he is not the same player he was last season.
Yeah.
Whether it was his contract and he got it and he did a good impression of Adebayor, or he's just lost that yard of pace, or something's going wrong in the team. There's something. Jose's just come along with this right formula, and he can't find the right one. And long may it continue to get Aubameyang back on form, and very, very long may it continue. But he's doing okay.
But who? When you look at the Arsenal team, who is it? Is there anyone that you look at and you're thinking, oh, I hope he's not playing, or you're a bit afraid of, you're a bit apprehensive about, or you're just confident that anything they throw at us we can deal with?
Well, the one player, and I mean, I do like him, and I think he's a great little player, is Kieran Tierney. He's done really, really well for it. I don't think he causes a threat to us, but he is the one player, and I think Partey, if he stays fit, can be a player. But as I look at it, there's not one person that I feel that if I had to do a combined 11, it would be the Tottenham 11.
I love that. I think what I would say to that, I think the one player that probably does threaten us a little bit is Bukayo Saka. I think he's the one he's the one that's really been on form attacking wise for Arsenal this season, in my opinion. I think he's probably the only one that can bring the game to us this weekend. I feel. Do you feel the same?
I feel. Do you know what, Simon? That's a great shout. I've been super. He's been very, very impressive, as well as on English duty. He really does look like a real talent. So I want to take back my answer and put Saka in, because you're definitely right there.
Yeah, that's what I think with Saka. But what's your prediction for the game? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
48-0 to us.
48-0.
48. 48-0 to Kane.
And they
still say he ain't the best striker.
And he ends the game as the all-time Premier League goal scorer.
Why not? What a game for it to happen. Seriously, I reckon it'll be 3-1 us.
3-1.
All right.
And you expecting Bale and Son and Kane? You think all three of them will start?
1,000,000,000%. Why, the Jose mind games have started. The one thing that you could never take away from him is this guy is the master mind player and manipulator. He's got it already. He's already started doing it.
And in terms of the rest of our team, who do you expect to start centre-back, full-back, and number 10?
I reckon it will be the exact same team that played against Palace.
Right, so Lucas Moura, number 10, Toby,
you think Doherty starts right back then?
And you reckon Matt starts right back?
No, I said yesterday, sorry, the one difference, sorry, my bad, Aurier, I think, will be the right back. But if there is one change if there's one change in the team from the Crystal Palace game, I reckon it'll be Aurier Doherty.
All right, Brian. Hope you have a good weekend. Get yourself some rest, get yourself some zen, and get ready for the game on Sunday, because it's going to be a nervy day. It's going to be a big day, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the game after the game.
Put that shaver away, Brian.
You will do. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.
Cheers, Brian.
Nice one, Brian.
All right, Joe, who we got next? Alex.
Yes,
Alex.
Hey,
how's it going, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Just thought I'd hop on in between essays and.
We're your excuse for procrastinating, are we?
Exactly.
I love it. Brilliant.
Well, I'm happy that we can take you away from your work for a bit.
This is where procrastination leaves you, Alex. This is where it gets you. I spent my life procrastinating.
Procrastination for me is not great, and I really hope my parents don't see me on here, because they'll.
Brilliant.
Is your dad a big Spurs fan, Alex?
Literally all of my family, apart from me, are Chelsea.
Really? Oh wow!
How does that happen?
All of my family.
How does that happen?
So when I was in primary school, just my best mate at the time, he was a Spurs fan, and he took me to my first game, and that's what happened. And
your dad must be gutted.
They're not thrilled. I'll say that. They did for a while. When I was I don't know, 9 or 10. They took me to Stamford Bridge quite a few times and tried to convert me, but it really failed.
And you just basically threw up every time you went.
Exactly. That's how I'm supposed to.
Alex, we got a game to talk about. Big North London derby this weekend at the Emirates. What are your thoughts coming into this game?
I think it's a weird one, because our form has been really good past couple of weeks. As we said yesterday, one goal in 5 games conceded. That's good. Our attack seems to be really flowing well. Midfield looking solid. It's just history, isn't it? History really doesn't. It doesn't tell a good story when we go. We've won the home game. We've now got the away game. We don't really do the double on these guys. Ever really. As much as I'd love to, I want to say, I feel like we're going to win, and part of me really does think that, but my head's telling me different. That actually, I'm not sure. Just history,
Yeah, but do you think Arsenal, currently 7 points below us, do you think they still have ambitions of trying to catch us, or do you think they've given up on that?
well, apart from the Europa League, that's their aim this season, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's top four's gone for them. So now it's just try and catch Tottenham, which is great. See how the tables have turned over the past 10 years. That's what they are now. Unfortunately for them. So yeah, I think. What were you gonna say?
No, carry on.
Oh no, yeah. I think that for us, this is a massive 3 points for us to get. I think if we don't win this game, it does put us in a very, very difficult position. And then you have to start asking questions of, though, can we really catch Chelsea? And that seems unlikely if we don't win. But yeah, I have confidence in the squad right now. I do have a lot of confidence. Arsenal are in a weird form, I'd say. I think it's the same story of Arsenal. You never know what you're going to get with them. Yeah. For example, yesterday when they beat Olympiacos, they concede an awful defensive error. I think Ceballos gave the ball away or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they go and put 3 past them and have a better second half. So you just don't know what you're going to get. And so I think it very much depends on the day who turns up.
With Arsenal having all their eggs in the Europa League basket, with Tottenham still chasing that top 4, is the pressure more on us coming into this game than Arsenal?
I think there's pressure on them from their fans to catch us. Mm-hmm. I think there's definitely that. I don't even think it needs to be about pressure, to be honest. I know it's really what's the word? All the players say, focus on the 3 points, focus on the next game. I think that's really it. I think you got to treat it. I know it's not, but you got to treat it as it's any other game. You want to try and apply not as much pressure on yourself, because unfortunately, and we hate to say it, but pressure and Tottenham, not a pair which go well together historically. Yeah. But of course, there's going to be some in the squad, but at the same time, we hope that the competition within the squad is going to use that pressure well. There is competition in the squad now. We were talking about this yesterday, and Mourinho said it today. That's brilliant, and we are starting to see fringe players also come into form. So if Doherty does start on Sunday, which it seems that is going to happen, then I'll be hiding behind the couch. But that's gonna. Which we have to trust him. We have to trust him.
Yeah. What kind of approach do you see us going for on Sunday? Because obviously the last win back in November, we kind of set off Arsenal, allowed them to come at us, and they couldn't really lay a glove on us, and we just picked them off on the counter. With all the mistakes they're making at the back at the moment, do we think do the same and hopefully they make a mistake, or would you like us to kind of take the game a bit more to them and maybe play a bit like how we've played against Palace and Burnley and be a bit more on the front foot and pressing high and things like that?
I don't care what approach we take. I know some people like the attacking football, and actually, when we do that, it does turn out pretty well. I don't care about, I want to beat them, and that's the bottom line. I don't care if we win by, 1-0 in the 90th minute. I really could not care less. The thing with Arsenal is you poke their defence and they fall apart.
Yeah.
We saw that yesterday. We see it time and time again. They give away silly goals, and so I think it's pretty. Mourinho will be thinking, you know what, we could really just hold out here. And when we get the chances, we know we've got the quality to deliver. And we will take those chances because we've got some of the most clinical players in the Premier League. So I think that he's going to go more defensive like last time. Because what are Arsenal going to do? They can attack us. And yes, let's not kid ourselves. Arsenal do have some very, very fine quality players. Players like Saka, Tierney, Partey, if he's fit. I'm not really sure on their injury record at the moment.
They don't have any injuries, I don't think.
Oh, is Partey fit?
I think so.
Oh, well, then you expect him starting. So yeah, it's going to be very, very tough, clearly, and we're going to have to defend bloody well. But
don't worry about Partey, Alex. Last time he played against us, he ran off the pitch and let us score a goal. So.
Oh, that was brilliant. I remember that. Yeah, that was brilliant. Oh, yeah. It's good we settled the end on melee party debates.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have confidence, and I really hope that doesn't come back to bite me, because I don't want my weekend ruined.
What's your score prediction, Alex?
If you want my honest answer, it's something like 2-2. If you want my what my heart's telling me, then I think we could actually win something like 3-1. Maybe something like 3-2. Lots of goals.
All right,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, to be honest, I kind of agree with you. It's on the face of things, it does look like there's going to be a lot of goals in this, but I do feel like Jose might just go a bit defensive and play on the counter-attack in this game.
Exactly. It does seem like this is kind of one of those games where he's going to go for that option.
Yeah, I agree with you. But Alex, thanks a lot for coming on as always. And hopefully next time we speak, we'll be talking about 3 points.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being my procrastination.
Yeah,
no problem.
We won't tell your parents, don't worry. All right.
All right, let's keep going. We got Jack.
Yes, Jack.
Yes, Jack. How's it going, mate?
Very good, guys. Happy afternoon for you guys.
Yeah.
Happy
good
afternoon.
evening. Good evening.
I always forget the time difference.
How are you feeling coming into this game? You confident?
I am pretty confident. I feel like it's hard to know what type of tactics Jose can go with, but I feel like we've thrived with kind of this high pressure, high possession style recently that I kind of would love to see us use against Arsenal, and have possibly some of our workhorse pressurizer kind of forwards such as Lucas or Lamela put some pressure on that back line, and maybe even on Leno as well, who's capable of the odd mistake here and there. And I feel like what I really want is to see some really high possession, really high pressure, and I feel like that will make Arsenal crumble and also make their fans even more frustrated, possibly, because it would show that I think in every way we are the better team. We have a better manager. I think we do have a better squad. We have a better starting 11. We have a better attack, maybe debatably a better defense, definitely better fullbacks, and a better goalkeeper. And I think the only thing that's kind of scary is just that we have all those advantages, and the only thing they're looking at this season is to maybe get a win over us. I don't think they have much of a season to look forward to after this. And so I think that's the only scary thing, is I feel like they're going to really want to take this game seriously.
What kind of approach do you see us taking this weekend? Do you think we're going to revert back to a counter-attacking team, or do you reckon we'll carry on like we have been against the Palaces, against the Burnleys?
I feel like Jose is such a pragmatist that it's really hard for me to know what he would go with, because I feel like I'm a bit more optimistic, and that I would like us to see us kind of have this really kind of dominating style with the ball, or kind of dominating style with high pressure that would kind of make us look like we are the better team and the better club, and in a much higher position and actually playing for something this season. So I feel like that type of style would make us kind of have a bit more pride. But kind of like Alex said, at the end of the day, whatever gets us 3 points and whatever gets us closer to the top 4 and keeps Arsenal down and kind of down for the rest of the season, I mean, whatever works.
The fact that we played in London on Thursday and we got the opportunity to rest a few players like Alderweireld and Bale and Højbjerg and some other players, and the fact that Arsenal had to play a full-strength team really out in Greece and have a bit of travel time, do you expect that to make any effect on the game, or do you think that's just what players should be able to deal with?
I feel like they should be able to deal with that. I feel like the rotation that Jose has been going with recently has actually been quite smart, and I do expect Davinson Sanchez to play on Sunday. I think, like you guys had said in the post-match, he is 23. I mean, he's even younger than Joe Rodon, and didn't you guys say that he's like exactly the same age as Rodon?
I think he's a year older than Rodon, I think.
Okay.
I think Rodon's 23 and Sanchez is 24, I think.
Right. I got it mixed up. But they have young legs in them, and I feel like they're very capable of playing multiple games in a row, especially with the huge hiatus that Sanchez had in the beginning of the season. And so I would love to see Sanchez and Toby playing together. I feel like Toby really brings out the best qualities in Sanchez. He doesn't put a lot of pressure on him when he has to be on the ball. He can kind of just give it off to Toby, and Toby can ping the passes. And then what also might happen from that is when Toby's pinging the passes, they'll have to pressure Toby more, and then Sanchez can have a bit more luxury and freedom on the ball and kind of be a bit more expressive. And I think against Aubameyang, Saka, maybe Nicola Pepe, he could really be that athletic, versatile defender that we really need. in order to kind of keep them down and silence them. And he's also can be a fantastic bully, I feel like, in games like this as well.
When you look at Arsenal, when you're looking at the job Mikel Arteta's done there, when you look at the Arsenal fans as well, I think most of them seem to think that Arteta is doing a good job there, and they like him as manager and what have you. How do you assess the way he's going there?
I feel like I have a very strong opinion against like club legend managers with no experience prior to taking a big job. It's just, I think the reason clubs have been doing it is during COVID, they realized they can't pay these huge managerial sums for a top quality manager. And so they're kind of putting on this almost propaganda that they have this new, up and coming manager that's, a club legend and it's like a process and all these things. But I think we saw with Frank Lampard, I feel like with clubs like Arsenal and Chelsea that are pretty cutthroat, I don't think it's going to work out. Maybe Ole Gunnar is kind of the exception to the rule. I still kind of don't believe it yet, but I don't think Mikel is doing a great job, and I'm happy that they're very optimistic about him, and I'm happy that they have some trust in him because I think he's actually pretty awful, and so especially,
Is it Mikel Arteta we want you to stay then? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, definitely stay. I mean, if any Arsenal fans are on the show, definitely he's been fantastic. He's fairly expressive football, but no, he's like, I don't know. They play some of the games that I've been forced to watch with them and some of the big marquee games of the weekend. They really are sometimes one of the most boring teams. They rely on a 19-year-old. It's now they got Odegaard, who is actually quality, but they're kind of just a frustrating team. And I sometimes get really frustrated with the type of football that they play, and I feel like they're kind of a bit shithousery. And so, I mean, what do you expect from the Scummers? So I don't know what to say, but Mikel Arteta definitely stay in.
I'm sure he's got a job waiting for him, putting out the cones for Pep anyway, as soon as he gets sacked from the Arsenal job. But Jack, look, what's your score prediction?
It's last time was 2-0. We sat back and we proved that we were a quality team and a much better team. But I think this time I'm going to be optimistic. I think we're going to go high possession, high attacking pressure, and I could see us taking 3-0.
All right, I'm loving that positivity. Come on, Jack, and we'll see you after 3 points on Sunday.
Nice one, Jack.
All right, thank you, guys.
Cheers, mate.
All right,
got a super chat here from TK. Says, let's smash them this weekend. 4-1. They are a mid-table team after all. Come on, you Spurs. I love the confidence. A lot of confidence there from a lot of Spurs fans.
The Paella, Pulis, and all that. But let's get Rovshan on. Rovshan, how you doing, mate?
Thanks, fine. And you, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thanks. How confident are you coming into this game?
Very confident.
Very confident.
Very confident. I don't know what about it. It's just I can explain when I see them and when I see us. We have improved a lot, and when you look at our attack, like they have improved suddenly, and we didn't expect that. Our three attacking players, which I mean, Moura, Bale, and Lamela, improved so much, and we didn't expect it. And when you look at Arsenal, they make silly mistakes. Their defense are making silly mistakes, and I'm very confident. Yeah, despite it's Emirates, but it's the best time to win them at the Emirates in the Premier League. Like they are so weak, we are recently so strong. Yeah, I'm very confident. Yesterday, I thought when I saw Harry Kane potentially being injured against Arsenal, when I heard it first time, I was a little bit worried. Then I thought, if Kane is not there, then Bale can go up front and Lamela can replace Bale at right wing. Then others the same. So our attacking options are just great.
Rovshan, what does this game mean to you?
It's just, let's say so. Of course, it's their rival for my club. Like Arsenal is just the biggest rival of Tottenham, but it means so much to England natives than to me. But of course, I also just wait that game where I'm so excited. I just want to win them. It means so much to me.
And do you expect Gareth Bale to be starting? It will be the first North London derby since his return. He actually scored in the last time we won the Emirates back in 2010. The last time he was here, but with everyone, a lot of people saying Tierney is Arsenal's biggest threat, and could Bale be forced to do maybe too much tracking back if he's in the team? What do you make out of that?
Bale is definitely going to start. I think it's his game. I think he will show. I hope, and there's no reason that he's not going to show a great performance. He's so good recently, and I believe he's going to start. About Arsenal threats, they have some. They have just. I think Tierney and Saka, these two are the big threats to us. Like, we have to defend them well. Like, Saka can play in every position: left back, right back, left wing, right wing, every position. We have to accept that he's a great player. Also, Tierney can make good runs, but I think they will not be problem for Bale. I expect him to have to score a brace again, and about Bale.
Brace, love it.
What's your score prediction, Rovshan?
I'm not exaggerating. I think 3-0.
3-0. I'm loving that positivity. Rovshan, absolute pleasure as always, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Nice one,
Cheers,
Rovshan.
mate.
See you in a bit, mate.
All right, you guys know what time it is now. It is
confidence
Marcelo
first,
time, the ultimate hype man, and I can see him
hype
hyping in the
machine.
background. It is North London Derby weekend. It is
Come
time.
on, boys.
It is time to
Let's
paint
go.
North London lily white yet
Let's go.
again. Marcelo.
North London is white, baby. I'm telling you, this game means more than titles. It means more than everything. This game is about pride. And on Sunday, not tomorrow, on Sunday, but the boys are gonna have to put 110% effort, bro. Forget technique, forget skills. This is about fight, passion, desire. Who wants it more? Who wants to stake their name? And I'm telling you, those Arsenal players, they don't give a crap about Arsenal. You see guys like Shaka, coming in, putting his ears out like he's Hulk Hogan, or whoever, bro.
Are you
I'm
not
telling
entertained?
You, Yeah, these men don't care. You see Pepe, picking up red cards. They're undisciplined. They're not ready. Arteta is not ready for this game. Arteta does, honestly, just looking at their team sheet, they don't even deserve to be in the same field as us. How dare Arteta even think he's in the same bracket as Jose Mourinho, one of the greats. He just even thinking that Arteta could tactically outclass him, bro, doesn't even cross my mind. That should be considered a crime to say that Arteta can tactically outclass Mourinho. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. But we are the team on form. I'm telling you, Arsenal, they're like a yo-yo, man. Their form goes up and down. You don't know what day you're gonna get next. It depends on whether Aubameyang, wakes up on the right side of the bed. That's how they are, man. They're not up for this game. Boys are. You see Højbjerg, that man looks like he could kill someone, bro. He will kill someone for a trophy. You know what I mean? He's a killer, man. He's a Viking. And poor Saka, because Højbjerg is gonna absolutely maul him like he did the first game. He is gonna tear him apart. Listen, they played a full team. Against Olympiacos. They're that scared. They're scared of farmers. They have to play their strongest lineups.
Well, they did get knocked out by Olympiacos last year.
Yeah, they're scared of those guys. Imagine what we're gonna do to them, bro. These guys they're worn down. They depend on a 19-year-old, and I'm sorry, a 19-year-old ain't gonna win you the North London Derby, bro. He's not gonna he's not gonna escape you that. Højbjerg is not gonna let him out of his pocket. He's gonna carry him around like a little chihuahua. He's gonna be like, nope, you're not allowed your leash. I'm telling you, it's gonna be easy.
Marcelo, answer me this. I've been hearing from a couple of Arsenal fans around Twitter, and also a couple of my friends as well been messaging me this, and they've been saying that they think Granit Xhaka is on a par with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
They're smoking crack, whoever said that.
Please tell me what you can say about that.
All I can say is, cocaine is a hell of a drug because if you're thinking that that's the case, I don't know what you're talking about. Xhaka, all he's good for is a red card. Walking out and cussing fans. Like he doesn't even do anything. I can't remember. I mean, he has a decent free kick, but that's about it, man. Come on, like let's be real here now. They forgotten what it's like to be a big club. They forgot what it's like to be kings of North London. We gotta show them who the daddy of North London is. Gotta give them a little bit of a spanking and a reminder, baby. You know how it is.
100%.
So we just gotta go there and show our dominance. Just do what we gotta do. So, I mean, look, these guys went from like. I never seen a bigger downfall. These guys went from invincibles to invisible. They went from Patrick Vieira to talking about Granit Xhaka. Like they're just clutching on straws. Remember when they were saying Aubameyang was gonna overtake Kane, bro? Now he's competing against Toby for top scorer. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like Toby's about to catch up with the man if he keeps his straight up. Like I can't remember the last time he scored. All he does is score against.
Has there been a bigger decline in the past decade than Arsenal?
Bro, 110%. These guys went from celebrating, winning Premier Leagues to celebrating getting top 10 and beating Leeds. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. They are the biggest downfall in football history. Their fans are the biggest downfall. They're accepting it. You see Ty, one of the most positive fans, even said, look, it would be a good season if we get top 10. Top 10, bro. Come on, man.
Did he actually say that? Did he actually say that?
I think he said that on one of the interviews. He's like, hopefully we can get top 10. Yeah, he said it, bro. He is the most positive Arsenal fan.
What is it about Arsenal fans, Marcelo? Because they seem to want to cling on to literally anything and everything, all that time ago when Pepe dribbled it past Van Dijk, they clinged on to that for so long. Apparently, Pepe is the best winger in the world now because he dribbled past Van Dijk. Where's he been? You know what I mean? These little small things they seem to like cling on to for so long. What is it about these lot?
I compare Arsenal to that, that retired boxer. Like he was a great champion one day, but then his legs are gone. He's just old. So he's just trying to cling on to the past, anything, you know what I mean? So one day he wakes up with a little bit of hop, in the morning. He's like, okay, I got my groove back. But in reality, you don't got your groove back, bro. You're shit, you know what I mean? Your knees are gone, you're old, you're outdated. You got, Pep's Coleman as your manager. You're not, you don't have the Arsene Wenger. You don't have the top quality anymore. You don't have the Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry can't play for you anymore. You're stuck with Aubameyang and, Lacazette, you're just a downfall waiting to happen, and it's beautiful. Personally, I love it. You know what I mean? Like as far as Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, Arteta, he's doing a good job." Yep. No, listen, guys, don't tell them that he's doing a bad job. Just say, "Yep." Give him a lifetime contract. Perfect. He's fantastic. I can't wait. Keep the way that you are because they can't even see it. You know what I mean? It's like watching Rome. Fall, bro. It's beautiful. Just see the flames and just sit back and relax, boys. That's what we gotta do. Just sit back and relax because I'm telling you, this season we're gonna do the double. We should have done the double on the Scum last season. They got lucky.
Yeah.
We can see the 2 goals. Poor Pochettino, I think he lost the dressing room. But even then, when we lost the dressing room, bro, we still took it to those men. Like they couldn't even handle us. That was Poch at his last legs. So I can't imagine with Jose Mourinho with his groove, ready, looking at Europa, looking at these trophies, getting his everything on. I can't imagine Arsenal going through us. I really can't. I'm telling you, I think this is going to be the season we do the double on them. If there was ever a season, this is the season. There is no way this squad, I look at this Arsenal squad, not one of these guys threaten me. Partey, bro, where's the party? That party is, deader than Donald Trump's, presidential campaign.
It's a lockdown party. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a lockdown party, bro. Yeah. You got 5 men, you celebrating with some cheese. That's about it, bro. Like, that's
party.
the party. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for real, man. Like you got, Saka. Like, okay, man, he's a good kid. He's a good dribbler, and all, but he also misses a lot of sitters, and he's 19-year-old, man. Like he's not gonna win you a North London derby. Just no chance. And like you got Aubameyang, who got his new contract, Gucci back and dipped out. He doesn't care anymore. You got Xhaka, who's a joke and a clown. Like they don't have anyone that threaten me, bro. Like man to man, our squad is so much better than theirs. Like our front three, we got Kane, like Son, Kane, and Bale, bro. Come on now. You're gonna compare that to Pepe. Pepe can't even score a goal if you put it right in front of him. You know what I mean? Like he could have literally, he could not score an open net goal. You know what I mean? And you're comparing that to Bale, man. This game, look, this man right here, bro. This man right here, right? He puts fears in Arsenal hearts, like Arsenal fans' heart. They know, bro. He's on form. Kane is on form. Sonny, he's getting the assist. There is no chance, Mr. McMahon, that these guys beat us. I'm telling you. Come on.
Come on, Marcelo. What's the
North
score
London
prediction?
will remain white.
What's the score prediction?
I'm gonna go 4-2.
4-2.
4-1.
A bit of revenge.
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
Bro.
Loving it,
yeah,
Marcelo.
We're gonna go attacking. We're gonna make the Emirates look like it was a like a blitzkrieg, bro. We're gonna go right through the Emirates. We're gonna destroy that stadium. I can't wait. Come on,
Right.
let's
Come
go.
on, Marcelo. Come on.
Love it. Love the passion, Marcelo.
See you later, Marcelo.
Big up. I'm hyped. I am hyped. I feel it.
That's
feel
all we
the
needed
hype.
was that hype, man. But Arsenal fans going on about Saka all season, albeit, yeah, he's had a good season. But first of all, he's carrying Arsenal. And for the amount of kind of praise they're putting on him and the amount of hype they're going through him, he's only scored 5 goals all season.
He has.
Gareth Bell's already scored 5 goals.
know.
He's hardly even played.
I know.
And Arsenal fans are shitting on Bell all season, laughing at Gareth Bell, and he's already on level terms with their best player all season.
I completely agree. I think that's why they're 10th. And but look, Saka. I actually think Saka's.
I'm not saying he's a bad player.
He annoys me actually because if it wasn't for him, they would have been out Europa League by now. I think, and I think he's saved them a few times. But I agree with you. They completely overhype. They're hyping up because that's all they got to do.
That's all they do. Arsenal. They constantly overhype players. They constantly.
Smith Rowe gets 1 assist. They're like, how are we gonna lift the creative burden of Smith Rowe after 1 assist?
I was talking to an Arsenal fan. He was trying to put Smith Rowe in a combined 11. Smith Rowe in a combined 11. Are you mad?
Come off it.
Smith Rowe.
Behave. Dele Alli probably has more goals and assists this season than Smith Rowe has.
Dele Alli's having the worst. Are you insane? Anyway, let's get David Harris on. Come on, mate.
David Harris. Love the shirt, David. Love it. Big up, David Harris. Come on. Talk to me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bond. Good afternoon, Benji.
How's it going, David? How's it going? You good?
I'm all good. I am pumped. Look, what I said, what you should do with what them Arsenal fans were saying on Twitter is actually just tag Marcelo in it and let him chew them up because he's good at it. That's what I advise you to do.
I'll do that next time. I'll for sure do that because I can't be bothered getting involved with the idiots on Twitter, these little gooners. I really can't. It's just whatever. I'll leave it to Marcelo. I'll tell you that. But David, how confident are you coming into this?
I've never been more confident, to be honest, Benji. Look, it's probably a bit early for this, but these guys wank off to Kieran Tiny holding a Tesco bag. It's the only excitement they've had this season. You've seen it all over Twitter. Oh, this guy, he holds a Tesco bag. He's one of us. They're wanking off to us. The only excitement they've had. You know what I mean? These guys, this is an important game for them. People may be writing it off for them. But look, if they don't win this, they have no chance of even getting Europa League spot in the league. And they're not going to win the Europa League. So they've no Europe next year. What I call going on at Arsenal, what I relate going on at Arsenal at the minute is actually to a Picasso. It's a fine piece of work. It's absolutely brilliant. It's what we want. They spent years shitting on us, talking shit, right? Years. And now the tide has turned. We've always sat here. We've said, okay, look, our day is coming. Our day is here. We've picked them. We have a bigger stadium. We have a better training complex. We have a better chairman. This is controversial, but we've better board owners. We've a better squad. We've better players. We've a better striker. We've better midfielders, better defenders, better manager. We're better in every single sense. Every single sense. Even our fans are better. You know what I mean? These guys are absolutely deluded. But honestly, guys, people say, coming into this game, form goes out the window. We're 4 North London derbies unbeaten. 4 in a row. Let's make it 5. So 100%. This, I think, it's becoming a myth. It's becoming a myth that form goes out the window. And for me, this game is huge for us. They can talk all they want about Emil Smith wouldn't row a boat. They can talk all they want about Saka shit. They can talk all they want about Kieran Tiny. They can talk all they want about the party. The only party that's going to be happening anytime soon is the party in your office when we win that League Cup final. That's the only party that's happening in North
You better
London.
be here, David.
Look,
you better be here.
No, look, I was actually looking into it last night, Benji, so I won't know anything more until the start of April, but hopefully the start of April I will get over. If not, I'll call Emil Smith, row a boat over, get him to row me over, and I'll be there. Don't worry, I'll find a way.
Loving that, David.
Brilliant, David.
How do you think that we're going to set up in this game in terms of the way we play our football? Do you reckon it'll be revert to how we played against them earlier on in the season, or do you reckon we go a bit more possession-based football like we did against the Crystal Palaces and the Burnleys?
Oh, guys, I'd much rather be asking you these questions than answering them. But look, for me, I stick to the 4-2-3-1 at the minute. I stick to what's working. This is the great thing which Pep's going by. He doesn't know what way we're going to play, because when we were rocked up there, when they rocked up to us, we bet them 2-0. We played a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
We sat back, we drew them out, and we caught them on the counter, ripped them apart. They couldn't do nothing. This time we've been playing a lot more attacking football. The 4-2-3-1 is the reason for that. So for me, I go to 4-2-3-1. You fit Gareth Bale in there. Look, Gareth Bale, he's chomping at the bit for this North London derby. There's no better way to rekindle the love he had before to now than going out and smashing one in against the scum on Sunday.
Let me ask you quickly about Bale in terms of, obviously, he's in great form. Everyone wants him to play. A lot of people pointing at Kieran Tierney as Arsenal's biggest threat, even though he's a left back. In terms of the selection for Bale, do you look at saying whatever Tierney does going forward, you have to have Bale in terms of what he can give us going forward? Or do you think, okay, maybe we need someone who's going to be able to track Tierney and not give him a free rein at left back?
No, not at all. Look, Gareth Bale, I think, Gareth Bale's proven his class. Honestly, that outside of the boot cross last night, that was porn. That was porn, lads. That was beautiful. Right? So, look, there's levels to this game. Gareth Bale is going to rock up there. He's going to show Kieran Tierney exactly why he's won Champions Leagues, why he's won a La Liga, why he is the coveted player he is. If I was Kieran Tierney, I'd be very worried about coming up against Gareth Bale, because, look, you can show Gareth Bale on the outside, like last night, outside of the boot ball, straight to the back post. What they don't want to do is show him on the inside, because we know what he's going to do. He's going to smash one into top bins. So he's going to have a hell of a problem. And if he bombs forward, it's even better for us, because what we're very good at is turning the ball over, especially when you play Højbjerg and Ndombele, getting quick ball to that front four. That's exactly what's been working against Palace and Burnley. Ultimately, it's what worked against Fulham that got us the goal. So, I actually encourage any Arsenal fans, please sit there, disrespect us, encourage Kieran Tierney to bomb forward. It's mad that they've gone from talking about Aubameyang to Kieran Tierney as their most amazing threat. That's a bit odd. It shows a decline, really, to be honest with you. One player that's going to be very crucial for me, lads, is Lucas Moura in the number 10. You see the mistakes they're making when they get pressurised, especially Leno. Right? He doesn't want to smash it long, so he'll play into dangerous positions. So Lucas Moura is going to be crucial. I don't want to hear any of this Dele Alli talk. Should Dele start? Should Lamela start? Lucas Moura is your man in that number 10. What he done against Palace was absolutely crucial. The same against Burnley. With Lucas, he doesn't have to show his hand that he's going to press. What he can do is kind of sit there, set a trap, wait for it to happen. And with his pace, he's rapid. He's straight on them. By the time the defender takes touch, he's on them. He takes the ball off them. So he is going to be crucial. Son is going to be crucial having to press as well. Gareth Bale is going to have to press on the right, and Harry Kane. We got that press right. It's a long ball game. It's a game they don't know how to play. It's a game they don't want to play. After that, we bully them, we show our physicality, and then we show our class ultimately. That's the way the game's going to pan out.
And Aurier ahead of Doherty, quickly?
Yeah, I go Aurier. Look, my biggest problem with Aurier was his final product. But what I've seen over recent times when Aurier's played is that he should be taking, conversions for the French national rugby team rather than playing right back for Tottenham at times, because he just balloons stuff. He balloons it into orbit. But last night, I have to say, every one of his deliveries were spot on. So on that basis, I would play him against Arsenal. And I do think we need his pace. I really do. Look, with Doherty, he's been good. He's been good lately. He's picking it up, right? But we can't afford, even though he's had good performances, the first 20 minutes of every game, the ball is bouncing off him. He's nervy until he settles into the game. And we can't afford that in the North London derby. So on that basis, I play Serge Aurier.
No, I was going to make the point before when you were talking about Lucas Moura, about how important he's going to be pressing up the pitch. I completely agree. And I know that Son or Bale is obviously going to play either side of him. But is there also a case for Lucas and Lamela to start so he can press them from two different angles kind of thing and just completely press the shit out of them?
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, I get what you're saying. And Lamela's attitude, Lamela's shithousery would be ideal for North London derby. Especially in a way if you could pin him on Kieran Tierney, because Kieran Tierney is a rash player. I watched this guy at Celtic. He is a hothead and he will make a rash challenge. So if Lamela could get up, snap and snarl in his face, he will bite. 100% he'll bite. Also, if you can get him in and around the middle, Granit Xhaka is one that will 100% bite on that. Yeah. David Luiz will make a rash challenger. These players, like Arsenal, have so many red cards over the season because they can't take it. When teams get up in their face, they cannot handle it, especially when the game's not going their way. So, look, there's a good shout for it. But ultimately, if you're talking when we get the ball and getting balls in the box for Kane and Son, because, look, Kane is the most goals in the North London derby. He's going to bang in a couple at the weekend. I can already feel it. Honestly, I can feel him scoring a couple at the weekend. He loves a goal against Arsenal. I still have visions of that one where he cut in and from a crossing position shot straight into the top corner. I still have flashbacks. I still dream about that. You know what I mean? So for me, I would actually play Bale just purely based on when he gets the ball, you know that you're going to get a quality delivery, quality pass, or ultimately you're going to get that finish. With Lamela, ultimately on the ball, he's not the best on the ball at times. And when we break away, you can't afford him to lose the ball 2 or 3 times. With Gareth Bale, and he's proven over the last few weeks that decisive pass is there, that finish is there, that cross is there, that bit of quality is there. So on that basis, because I really want to smash them, I go with Gareth Bale.
I guess it's also a case of Lamela is a great option to bring on with half an hour, 20 minutes to go as well. So it's great options to have. But David, what's your score prediction?
Lads, honestly, I'm going to go 4-2. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Yeah. I think we're going to bag another 4. I really do. Defensively, if Lucas Moura starts at number 10, they're going to be under a hell of a lot of pressure. Like I said, it's going to turn into a long ball game for them. They're not going to know how to play it. I do think they will end up getting a man sent off, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I do think they might catch us 1 or twice on the counter. So I'm going to go 4-2. I'm more leaning towards 4-1, but I'm going to go 4-2 because it is a derby game and sometimes something special can happen.
All right, brilliant stuff, David. We'll see you after the game on Sunday. Have a good weekend and come on, you Spurs.
Same to you, lads. The WeAreTottenhamTV army, sit back, enjoy it, be relaxed. We're going to win this. Aubameyang's still missing. No one knows where he is. We're going to rock up to the library. We're going to smash them. We're going to show them who runs North London, who holds the keys in North London. And not only that, we're going to end up running London because Chelsea are next. We're coming for them. We will take the top 4 off them. In Jose Mourinho, we trust. In Harry Kane, we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up, David. All right.
You know what? I'm loving the confidence, but I'm also not loving it as well. Because
you know what happens. Overconfident.
You just know what happens when Spurs fans get too confident.
Yeah, not good things. Bad things. So. I've got a couple of super chats here, though. One from Wayne Bonner. Says Marcelo and coleslaw.
Joe, how many more?
Coleslaw apparently message us the side dish.
Okay.
For the super chat.
Cool.
Just saying, wow.
I don't like coleslaw.
I don't like coleslaw either, but I like you coleslaw. I like coleslaw. Big up for them in the super chats. But yeah, let's keep on going.
All right, it's the last and final guest, Charlie THFC.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good guys. I'm really pumped for this one. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, really pumped as well. Really looking forward to the game. I've been looking forward to it all week, to be honest. And, it's always one of those games that you just look at the fixture list when the fixtures come out and you just look forward to these games, don't you, all season?
100%.
But in terms of the actual game, what does the North London derby actually mean to you, Charlie?
Oh, listen, pretty much the same as every Spurs fan, really, because this is just the biggest, as you said there, when the fixtures are released. This is the first one I look for. It's really that simple. And as I've seen the last 2 callers, Marcelo and David, yeah, I'm pumped for this one. I really am, just like I am for every North London derby. The main thing is I just cannot stand them one bit, genuinely. Especially the fans. That's the weird thing about it all. I actually seem to hate the fans more than the actual club in a way, if that makes sense.
I agree with you. They all seem to be cut from the same cloth, don't they, Charlie?
Yeah, it does seem a lot like that. And look, going into every North London derby, that my expectation is all the time that I expect both teams to turn up. That's what I expect every time. For me, the most angry I've probably ever been after a loss is when we haven't turned up against Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's the thing that pisses me off the most, because I just when our players don't turn up against Arsenal, no matter what year it is, I do question whether they should be playing for Tottenham if they're not up for a game against Arsenal. But look, I'm very confident that we will be up for this game. We've seen it in the game in December. We were, as I heard you say, for me, I agree with you. It's probably one of the most comfortable North London derbies that I've sat through, to be honest. But I don't think this one will be as comfortable. That's my gut feeling anyway. I think we've just got to get under their skins. Because you look at Arsenal, they've got the most red cards or something this season. If we can get under their skin and have fire in our bellies, then we can first of all press them into mistakes with the likes of Lucas Moura in that number 10 position. He'll be extremely important for us, and we can also get under their skin, like you know what Lamela can do. Great option to bring off the bench. He can definitely get under their skins, the likes of Xhaka, Tierney. These guys are hotheads, and we can really get someone sent off. So if we can get one of their players sent off, it could really open up the game for us. And look, of course, North London derbies, they're always difficult games. I think I don't want to sort of say stuff on here that I might regret after, because anything can happen in these games. I think you're right. I think someone said it. You're right that this thing about form going out the window, it has been a little bit of a myth, I'd say, because if you look at the last couple, we have won the last two, and we've been probably on the better form going into both of them, especially the one in December. So yeah, it does happen on the odd occasion, but not as often as people think. So yeah, look. We have to stop their outlets. You look at Saka. I hate to say it, but he's a good player, Saka. I like the look of him. Obviously, Aubameyang as well. I know he's been absolute crap this season, but recently he's scored a few goals. But look, at the end of the day, I cannot stand them, and I just want us to go there with fire in our belly and just try and score as many goals as possible. With obviously the conservative element about it, and not going completely gung ho and leaving just a whole load of space at the back. So we have to sort of I wouldn't say pragmatic, but I think we have to just get at them and press in packs, if you know what I mean. We have to press in packs. We can't do sort of lazy press where like one man goes, because then what happens with that is one man go, and any team you do it against can just play around you. So it's important that we press in packs. And as I said, if you press them in packs, they can make mistakes. You look at David Luiz, Bobo the Clown, as David likes to call him. Shits the bed every time he gets pressed, so we can definitely get at him. You look at even the likes of Bellerin, Son up against Bellerin. I think that will Son. There's only one winner. Come on, Son up against Bellerin. Bellerin has no pace anymore, so I'm fully confident Son can get the better of him. You look at the midfield battle. I think the midfield is where a lot of games are won in the modern game. And I think I really do. If Ndombele and Højbjerg, if they're on it, I fully back them to eat the likes of Xhaka and Partey alive. Because you look at Xhaka, he's just more mistake prone than the likes of Dyer. And you look at Partey, that guy's literally made of glass. So, yeah, I really, really do back our midfielders, Ndombele and Højbjerg, to just eat them alive, eat them for breakfast.
Yeah, I agree. And in terms of you're saying, maybe we should have a bit more of a pragmatic approach compared to maybe what we played against Palace or Burnley. First of all, but with the selection of Gareth Bale, do you expect him to start? And if he does, what do you make out of his ability off the ball compared to some of the other options we have? And do you think it'll be enough?
I wouldn't say go as pragmatic as we did in December, because I think we can get at them. I think they are vulnerable in a lot of areas. Obviously, the same goes with us at the back. We know the story there. So, look, I think Gareth Bale should start for me. I really, really do believe that, because the form he's been on, I think he was clearly rested on Thursday. So I'm pretty certain that he's going to start, because I think the fact he was on the bench yesterday clearly shows that he's going to start. And he loves a goal against Arsenal. We know that very well from his first spell here. Always loved to bang one in against them. Yeah, look, it should be a great game. And we just have to get under their skins. We really, really do, because Come the final whistle, I want to be sitting here with 3 points, because I just cannot stand losing to them. The worst thing about losing to them is just the fans, as I said. They get so ahead of themselves with every little thing. Like, I hear them saying stuff like about Saka. Yeah, Saka's a decent player, but as you said, Gareth Bale, who they've been laughing at all season, has got the same number of goals as him in the league. So they cling on to the littlest things, and for me, that just shows how far they've fallen and why they've had the biggest decline in football over the last decade, in my opinion, because the fans over one little thing they'll get so hyped. Like you look at when they signed Partey, these lot go and make a whole song about it. Just little things like that is why they've been on the decline and why their fan base for me is the most deluded in England. And I will say that right now, I have not met a fan base that is more deluded than them. Genuinely.
You know what, Charlie? Even rivalry aside, taking your Spurs hat off, just being a standard Premier League fan, I even think that's true, even without being a Spurs fan, because they are literally the most deluded fan base in the world, never mind the country. I genuinely believe that. I think you're spot on. I really do.
Yeah, they are. They just don't have a clue. And like as I heard you say earlier on, whenever they beat us, they just give it against us for like years, and like that's just the thing that pisses me off a lot, because I can't stand losing to them. Every time we go into a game against them, I'm just like, if there's going to be a game which we lose, just don't let it be this one. That's how I see it all the time, because even when we lost to West Ham the other week, I couldn't take that because of like West Ham fans and stuff. That was bad enough, but I think losing to these lot would be a lot worse. But look, I'm pretty confident. If as long as we turn up, which I am confident of, I'm never too worried about us not turning up, because although it has happened the odd occasion, like you look at, you remember a couple of years ago at Wembley where Aubameyang missed in the last minute. I didn't think we deserved anything out of that game.
No,
I really didn't. I thought I know the result in the end, it got us Champions League football and obviously knocked them out the top four. But I remember that game, I was fuming because we didn't turn up that game. We deserved nothing from that game. And luckily since then, in pretty much all the games since then, I think the 2-2 at the Emirates, we were very unlucky, I thought. And then the last two where we've beaten them, we have turned up in the last three, and especially with Mourinho. I think it's well documented. Mourinho does not like these lot. Even in his days at Chelsea, you look at all the sort of fights with Wenger and everything there. So having Mourinho in charge for a North London derby is even better, because he does not like them. Probably he hates them probably as much as we do, if I'm completely honest.
And not only does he not like them, but his record against them is impeccable, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think it's only 2 defeats in his whole managerial career. I believe it's only 2 defeats, and they were both away from home. So look, I don't want to speak about stats because they can easily come back and bite you like that one, and that's why I don't just sort of throw out all these stats saying that we're unbeaten, this, that, the other, because it could easily come back and bite them. And we know in North London derbies, I know I said despite the form thing and stuff, the odd time it can happen. That's the things, and look, we are the team. We are going into this on better form. As I've said for a long time, we've got a much better team than them, I think, on paper, man for man. Like I hear this thing about sort of Tierney, Reguilon. Look, there's only one man, Reguilon. Come on, do me a favour. Reguilon is miles clear. You look at even our right backs. We complain. We've been complaining about our right backs since Carl Walker's left. I'd take both our right backs over theirs. Genuinely, you look at Bellerin. Yeah, I would. Bellerin is absolute trash. Seriously, he cannot defend for shit. He's lost all his pace. And you look at Cedric as well. Cedric's probably equally as average as someone like Doherty, to be honest. So I think Aurier, especially Aurier, for me, he's better than both their right backs. So, you look at centre-backs, it's probably more even there on the centre-back positions. But especially you look at midfield. I think, as I said earlier on, if Ndombele and Højbjerg are on it, I back us to eat them for breakfast. I really do. The likes of Xhaka, as I said. Hopefully we can get him sent off again, because that'll be key. Obviously, if they're down to 10 men, it just gives us a massive advantage. So some more shithousery, please, and hopefully we can come away with a win in this game.
What's your prediction, Charlie?
Oh, 2-1.
2-1
Spurs. Yeah, 2-1. I think look, all these derby games are tight. I think this is going to be a difficult match, if I'm completely honest. You look at the likes of Saka, can easily cause problems, because we know our defence. I worry about our defence against anyone. It doesn't matter. Even against Marine, I had that tiny 1% of worry when we played Marine. So it's against anyone that our defence can just sort of shit the bed, if you know what I mean. Like one moment, we know that, the story of our season, just individual error FC for a lot of it, up until recently when we've sort of settled on a centre-back pairing of Toby and Sanchez. But I'm going to go 2-1. I think it will be a tight game in this one. As I said, I fully expect Arsenal to be up for it as well. I fully expect them to have the game of their life. But at the same time, I fully expect us to have the game of our life. And I think if that's the case, then I do back our quality to hopefully have too much for them. So yeah,
come on, Charlie.
I'm going to go for a 2-1.
Love that.
I
think the same prediction as me as well. So, Charlie, have a nice, relaxing weekend, because it's not going to be relaxing on Sunday. But let's hopefully for 3 points. And have a good weekend, mate.
See you, Charlie.
You too, guys. Cheers, family. Cheers, guys.
Mate. Cool.
All right, I think that is it for today. Another nice mammoth stream for you guys. Tottenham against Arsenal this weekend at the Emirates. It is time to paint North London lily white once again. It is time to do the double over Arsenal for the first time since
chat here quickly
the first year of the Premier League. Go on.
From Brian Daigle says, just checked it out and I can confirm the last time we did the double over the filth was the very first Premier League season. Celebrate getting my 6 months purple badge with a North London derby double.
Come on!
Come on, Brian. Big up, Brian.
All right, well, we've got some more content coming out for you today. We've got the Premier League Predictor Show. We've got an opposition preview with an Arsenal fan. We've got our standard predicted lineup and match preview. So all of that will be shared over today and tomorrow. Then obviously it's the big one on Sunday at the Emirates, 4:30 kickoff. Come and join us for our live watch long. We'll be going live a bit earlier on Sunday just to build up some momentum just going into the game, and then it'll be your chance to have your say on the post-match fan show. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Let's paint North London lily white once again. Let's put Arsenal back in their holes. Let's give them a good beating on Sunday. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always,
come on you Spurs!